All right, let's go to what I would regard as a Monty Python skit, if it wasn't so serious last night. This is your exchange with Anna Cody. She is our Sex Discrimination Commissioner. In estimates, a whole lot of discussion you had with her about trans women, so biological men, and pregnancy. Have a listen.
Trans women, if someone is who applies for a job, for example, and it is a trans woman and she may be asked whether or not she intends to have children, and if she replies, yes, I do, and then doesn't get the job because that employer doesn't want to employ women who may be of childbearing age, then she may have been subjected to unlawful discrimination on the basis of potential pregnancy.
I'm very confused. A biological male can't become pregnant.
But the grounds of pregnancy includes potential pregnancy as well as pregnancy.
But if they can't become pregnant, how can you then become potentially pregnant?
It's about the unlawful treatment by the employer. If someone is treated unfairly on the basis of pregnancy or potential pregnancy, then that is unlawful discrimination on the basis of pregnancy.
Right, this all stems from legal changes that Julia Gillard made 2 days before she was rolled by Kevin Rudd in 2013. Any wonder she's now getting heckled in the United Kingdom as people understand this mess is on her head. When are we going to fix these laws? They are embarrassing globally, absolutely embarrassing. But this idea that someone without a uterus gets discriminatory protection for potential pregnancy. I can't believe we're even having this conversation, Michaelia Cash.
But this is a point that I was trying to make last night. Unless I missed that class at school, biological men cannot have babies. They also can't potentially have babies, no matter which way you cut it. I hate to tell the Sex Discrimination Commissioner, who is paid, your listeners might like to know, over $400,000 a year, top 1% of salary earners in Australia, and she wanted to argue last night that biological men, even if they consider themselves women, can have babies. Get over yourself. But do you know what it proved last night, Peter? The law is an ass. And when the law is an ass, do you know what you have to do? You have to change it. Because quite frankly, Mum and Dad Australia would have been sitting back last night and saying, Canberra has totally lost the plot.
Viewers, what Australia is witnessing now is no longer simply a policy disagreement. It's a deeper institutional conflict over whether language, biology, law, and public reality itself can be administratively reconstructed through ideology. When senior public institutions appear willing to blur foundational definitions surrounding sex, pregnancy, womanhood, and protected rights, public trust begins destabilising rapidly because taxpayers are not merely funding services anymore. We are increasingly funding ideological litigation, semantic reconstruction, bureaucratic activism, institutional reinterpretation of reality itself, and that is where public anxiety intensifies. Not because Australians hate people, but because many Australians increasingly fear that disagreement with institutional ideology is being reframed as moral failure itself. The deeper question, viewers, becomes, can a society preserve stable law, protected rights and public trust if objective definitions become politically negotiable? Because once institutions begin demanding that citizens affirm contradictions against conscience, biology or observable reality, the conflict stops feeling administrative and starts feeling civilisational. In closing, viewers, a government can regulate speech, redefine language and pressure institutions, but it cannot permanently force itself to surrender. And how it thinks that we can believe this kind of nonsense is just the mask slipping off who's running the country.